Hey friends and welcome. My name is Dr. Heather Carden and welcome to Ask Dr. Heather. Every Thursday night we have a live Ask a Doc. Sorry it's super late. I had a neighbor pop over and we got a little bit lost in time visiting, but that's always nice to have. So I did not want to leave you out. I wanted to just pop in and check with you as we do every Thursday night, which is an open forum where I help you actually help understand maybe some questions that have been going on that you've been going, I wonder if that is true. I wonder if that health topic I learned about, I wonder if that exercise, fitness, health and wellness conversation I was having with someone, I wonder if that really is a real topic. I wonder if that's something I should actually investigate for myself, my family members. So I do apologize it's late. We'll be super brief. Tomorrow I want to show some new food finds that I found at the grocery store, hoping to do some baking because guess what? I am home alone. All four boys, young card men, have gone back to their jobs. One's on deployment, two are back at college. Dr. Ralph is actually out hunting for the weekend and the dog is actually being boarded. So I am home alone. I have like way too many projects to do over the next 72 hours plus work. So anyway, had a nice visit from a neighbor today, so sorry I'm late. Judy, Vicky, good to have you here. I did get a great message after last night. I had a couple people saying, you know, I do great on keto. I'm great when I'm there, great low carb, had tons of success. I do it for 6 months. I do it for 2 or 3 years. So I'm going to start off with this question. But then when I fall off the wagon, when I go back and start adding carbs in, the carb creep happens, I gain all the weight back. How do I stop the yo-yo? How do I stop that cycle from happening? So I'm going to give you some tips and then we're going to take your questions. I know it's late. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Cindy. Good to see you guys here tonight. Mindy, nice to have you here as well. But I want to help you because that's a real fear. People they feel great when they're actually at their good body composition. But when the body composition goes back, they get the excess weight back on, they stop the exercise routine, they stop eating unhealthy, they feel like it's a self-sabotage. So I don't want to feel that way. I want to help you feel empowered. So what people have to do is what the tools you use to get there to that good body composition, you have to continue to do those, but at a different rate. So say that you have to create a negative calorie, you have to do some exercise to actually lose maybe 50, 100, or maybe it's just 10 or 15 pounds. And then what you have to do is you actually have to do a little bit of calculating, a little bit of journaling to say, okay, I'm at my current weight. Let's say your ideal weight is 150 pounds. You lost 50 pounds and you don't want to gain any, you don't want to lose any more, you don't want to gain any more. Then you have to actually do a little tracking there. And that's where this comes into using an app or writing things down on a piece of paper, weighing, at least once a week, making sure you're staying up on your exercise plan, because when you stop exercising and when you stop doing the things you're doing to get to that good, healthy, ideal weight, that's when it starts to come back on. You stop exercising for a week. So 1 week turns into 2 weeks. 2 weeks turns into a month turns into 90 days. Or you weren't eating any bread and pasta and then you heard the avocado toast thing. Okay, I'm going to do it 1 time a day. And now all of a sudden you're doing the avocado toast every single day. And now you're seeing that skill going up. Well, I heard everybody else is doing avocado toast. That must be good for me. Or you're doing the juice smoothie thing and you were just putting in 3/4 a cup of berries. Next thing you know, it's berries plus a banana. Now it's berries plus banana plus a protein shake. And now we're putting yogurt in there. So those things keep adding in and adding in there. So you have to go back to the basics of keeping it super simple. Protein, a couple handfuls of veggies, and a couple fats. So if you did keto or low carb, which again can be very isolating and can be very stressful, you can sometimes feel very deprived, and we definitely know when you're feeling deprived is you don't have to go that extreme if you got to where your body's ideal body composition was, but you have to get that baseline and say, okay, 150 is my ideal weight. I'm just using an example there. We could use 200 or we could use 125, but 150, say I was doing 25 carbs, then you increase it by 5 carbs for 2 weeks. And if you're at that ideal weight and you continue to stay there, doing again exercise 5 times a week, now you're at 30 carbs, you're staying there, everything's great, you feel great, clothes are still fitting great, then you either bump up the protein by a couple ounces every day, or you bump up either the fat or you bump up the carbs. Most people want to bump up the carbs. Those are healthy carbs, of course. We're not bumping up the starchy carbs, maybe adding in a drink on the weekend, early in the afternoon. So there's some tricks and tools, but you just want to find that baseline. First, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know where your starting point is. So what are you doing to get there? I had somebody write in and said I was doing 20 carbs for 3 years to lose all the weight I need to lose. Then something in my life tragic happened. They had a family member lost, or someone got sick, lost their job, and then, you know, they fell off the wagon. Everybody calls it a wagon. I'm not for sure why. And then they just can't seem to get back started again. The weight creeps on, the weight creeps on, the weight creeps on. So do you have to go as drastic as going back down to 15 or 20 carbs? Not necessarily, but you do have to do something. And sometimes just a 5 or 10 degree shift is enough to get enough hope, enough incentive to actually get you going in the right direction. And that's what I love about intermittent fasting, is that just starting with intermittent fasting can get your metabolic system going. It can calm down the nervous system, because generally it's stress is what sets on the carb creep, adding it into the diet. So when you can do the intermittent fasting, and there's so many leading researchers that write in about that it's so important when you eat than what you eat. So stop eating 4 hours before bedtime, get the sleep in, and then stop with the cakes and cookies and pies and fruits and juices. Stop with that kind of stuff. Don't worry about so much the serving of protein size. Don't worry about counting your fats. Don't worry about counting how many cups of veggies. Just don't eat the other stuff, and you're gonna have huge successes. So when you can stop quitting measuring all the other stuff and just know what the list is you shouldn't have, and focus on the list that you can have and all the delectable things that you can have, you're going to start seeing some big wins. You're going to start to feel better. You're going to want to start to work out. You're going to feel like you want to actually start enjoying life more. And then you're going to start to have wins and say, you know what, this is a lifestyle I can maintain. I can do this the rest of my life. I'm not worried that I'm going to do the yo-yo cycle again. I'm going to get rid of those big size clothes, and I don't want to ever go back there again. But tonight again is about a Q&A. It's time for you guys to ask questions. Those are some questions I got after last night's live. Had a lot of great thyroid conversations. So if you missed last night's live, we talked about thyroid health, kind of what the thyroid is, what it does in your body, how important it is, how connected it is, and how interwoven it is within our bodies, not only within just the thyroid itself, but how it is connected with our liver, our adrenal glands, our hormones. So if you missed that, check that back out. But Debbie, if you have a question, drop it down below. Hello from New Jersey. Susie, Cindy, Sue, if you have a question. Hope, if you've got a question, drop it down below. Dorothy, if you've got a question, drop it down below. I know I'm, again, super late. Neighbor popped over. But yeah, I'm home alone, so I've got a whole list of stuff to do. I thought I'd check in with you guys. Definitely trying to get some baking in. I checked in with Pam. We're going to try to do a little bit of baking on Saturday. If not, I got to make some waffles. I did buy some dairy-free things to make some waffles with. So hopefully excited to show you guys that. Some dairy-free cream cheese, some dairy-free cheddar cheese, some mozzarella cheese to make some waffle with. It's made from tapioca. So you can see that it actually tastes exactly the same. So if you have a dairy sensitivity like myself and you still want to have those indulgences and enjoy them, then you can have that. I also picked up some different type of almond crackers today just to help sample with you guys to have a little fun. So I'll do a little cooking tomorrow. So again, some new food finds and just kind of prep for the week a little bit and show you how I prep, since I can do that. Usually when we go to the store, Dr. Ralph's just wants to get it put away and go, and no time for video, no time for TikToks, no time for Reels, let's go. But I actually have a little more time because he's not here. So a little blessing in that way. Not that I don't miss my husband, but sometimes it's nice to have a little peace and quiet and get the house cleaned up. So what would you guys do, since you don't have any questions, if you had the whole weekend to yourself? Remember, I'm a family of 6, 4 boys, husband, dog. What would you do? What would you do if you had the whole weekend? Would you clean like me? Like, I love a clean house. We're still sorting and unpacking stuff because we moved from our house of 17 years. I'm still getting rid of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, still helping my mom get rid of stuff. What would you guys be doing? I think I'm still finding Christmas stuff to put away. Suggestions on sleep. So Cindy Bartlett, is it trouble getting to sleep or staying asleep? Because I do have a great video I'll post here, which is on sleep hygiene. If it's trouble getting to sleep, we can talk about that. Is trouble staying to sleep, or if it's just trouble getting woken up, like in the morning you just feel like you can't wake up, because sleep hygiene is so important. So top suggestions is get your mindset clear 45 minutes before sleep, which means shut off the blue lights, like use blue blocker glasses. I don't have mine on right now. Make your room nice and dark. You can still read. You want to use nice LED calm blue lights. You want to get rid of TVs, computers, phones, hormones, those type of things. Don't read on a tablet. Cool your room down at 5 degrees, cooler than the rest of the house. It helps calm down your nervous system. You can take a nice Epsom salt bath using exogenous ketones and actually calm down your nervous system. Magnesium, calcium, vitamin D, melatonin, all those things have been proven to actually help calm down the nervous system. If it's trouble not getting to sleep but staying asleep, then that may be magnesium. It can also be a thyroid issue like we talked about last night. Thyroid can actually, if you're waking up every 80 to 90 minutes, that's a hallmark of a subclinical thyroid issue. So let me know. And it also can be, maybe there's dust mites, maybe you have an old pillow, old mattress. It could be allergies to things you're cleaning with within the mattresses or within your laundry detergent, because that can also wake you up several times. Maybe it's a pain syndrome you have going on. You can have carpal tunnel, you can have neck issues, low back issues. Old mattresses can cause you to wake up and have sleep troubles. So lots of things can cause it. So sleep, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep. Is it nightmares? Is it snoring? Is it sleep apnea? Is it headaches? Is it numbness and tingling in your hands or feet? So let me know, Cindy, what that is so I can help make some better recommendations. And I'll also post that video for you. Debbie says both, can't get to sleep and stay asleep. So Debbie, some of those things I mentioned before about getting to sleep. So about 45 minutes before, calm everything down, get rid of again, all the light, all electricity, all of the mojo they talk about, all of the electricity going on in your house, your bedroom. Make your bedroom nice and cool. Make sure your bedroom's nice and dark, because your body makes melatonin in the presence of darkness. So get it nice and dark, nice and cool, nice and calm. Get rid of candles, get rid of any fragrances that can interfere with your neurotransmitters. Make sure you're not eating 4 hours before bedtime, because by the time you eat, it does take 4 hours for digestion to completely process, for the nervous system to completely calm down. So no food 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. You can definitely have water, you can have chamomile tea, you can have any type of those type of things, but just no food that requires processing, chewing, digestive enzymes to be secreted. Again, in a big nice Epsom salt bath. Trouble staying to sleep, you might try some melatonin. I do use some chewable pediatric melatonin with some folks that if they get to sleep, if they wake up, they can use some 1 to 2 milligrams of sublingual melatonin, and I can actually get that for you if you want to email me. GABA can also help with that well, and that's what ketones do. Ketones increase GABA, which calms down the nervous system, increases oxygen to your brain to help calm down respiration, get good breath motion. So good breathing techniques. Also, when you wake up in the middle of the night, practice breathing in for a count of 5, hold it for a count of 7, and then out for a count of 4 can also help get you breathing. Doing some nice meditation, some neurofeedback and biofeedback. Just listening to the audio can also help with sleep. Clearing your mind before you go to sleep. If you've got little thoughts, just write them down before you go. Doing 4 or 5 gratitude statements, just writing them down or saying them. I'm thankful for the warm weather today. I'm thankful that my husband got to go hunting with all of his brothers and uncles and stuff today. I'm thankful all my kids got back to school today. I'm thankful that my mom is healthy today. So being grateful before you go to bed, putting your mind in that state of gratitude can absolutely help. Vitamin D, low vitamin D can also affect your sleep, as in low calcium, low magnesium, because calcium and magnesium are your body's natural tranquilizers. Those things can absolutely affect sleep. So make sure those are in optimal ranges. Of vitamin D should be 80 to 100. Calcium should be 9.7 to 10.1, and never take calcium unless you've had it checked. You don't want to have a high calcium level, because that'll precipitate into calcium stones. It can precipitate into kidney stones, gallstones, because if it's not, if it's high, it means it's floating around in the bloodstream and it's not actually getting absorbed into the bone or where it needs to be. So you don't take calcium unless you need it. Magnesium is your body's natural tranquilizer, so those things can also help. So I take a little bit of cocktail. I take magnesium, vitamin D, calcium because my levels are low, and I also drink some Keto Pro, which is exogenous ketones with some MCTs and some very small amount of protein that is specific for your brain to help calm down brain neurotransmitters. Also, if you can't get your room dark because of lights or other things like that, you can actually wear some night blinders to help keep the lights out. That will also help sleep. And if you're waking up every 80 to 90 minutes, you might check your thyroid. Listen to some of the clinical symptoms we talked about, or signs and symptoms of thyroid being out of balance, and have your thyroid checked. So Debbie, let me know what you find out. So Debbie says, I'm already trying thyroid medication, so is it helping? And do you have some of the other symptoms, or did the doctor, are your levels out of balance, or the doctor just goes straight for thyroid because the sleep was out of balance? So other things like GABA, GABANol, those type of things can be out of balance. Sometimes it's not always best just to go straight for thyroid. Progesterone being out of balance or estrogen can also cause sleep disturbances. Low testosterone can cause sleep disturbances. Vicky Webb, I'm always cleaning and cooking. I prep food the day before to stay on track. I do limit the keto foods such as like almond flour or keto sweets. I find the same seems to slow down weight loss. So is that a question? Do you limit the keto foods such as the almond flour? Yeah, Vicki, I do. I haven't baked in a long time. We moved here in June. I've only made fat bombs one time. It's because my son was home and wanted to make fat bombs. I definitely limit the fat bombs because I can get carried away. I haven't made a mug cake in a long time. I'm going to make some waffles just because we haven't had any type of bread or keto bread. Problem is, when you go buy keto bread, I took some videos today, they have keto flour. The original ketogenic diet was grain-free. Why are we having keto flour, keto wraps that actually are made with gluten or made with corn? Like, the original ketogenic diet was grain-free. So I'm super confused what they're doing. But yes, almond flour is normally found in there. But almond flour, when you're making cakes and cookies and pies, those are meant to be used for holidays, meant to be used for birthdays. They're meant to be used for mildly baking things. They're not meant to be used for everyday usage. So yes, I do limit those for special occasions. I haven't made, we moved in here in early July. Brand new spanking oven for the first time in many years, but I have limited those just because the two gyms that I use, my hot yoga studio closed, the warm pool that I was using at physical therapy has closed, or I'm not able to use it. So those two are my two big outings to actually get a good workout in. Those have actually, I'm not able to use those right now, so I'm not doing as many of those torts and tarts and sweets, not baking as much, haven't made any keto pancakes in a long time, doing crushless quiche. Instead of using some almond flour in my quiche. So I definitely am limiting those, but I will use them. Again, I could have done it for the holidays. I just chose not to, and just made some, really we just did without. The boys are fine. My kids don't really like a lot of sweets, so they're just good with having like ribs and lamb chops and things like that. So I do limit those because those are easy calories. Fat bombs, I will go after those all day long. They're 70 calories. You can pop them in. Again, my son's made some. I was going to make some waffles tomorrow just because my husband wants to have those when he goes hunting. He can take them. They're pretty easy. Put some pulled pork on top of them, or, you know, chicken and waffle kind of thing. But yeah, I think that can actually make people increase weight. When you buy bleached enriched refined almond meal waffle or almond meal flour, it does have more carbs in it. Coconut flour has carbs in it, so you do have to watch it because they can actually bump you over on your carb ratio. When you eat a handful of almonds, think how much crunching you have to do it. Or if you're actually making your own almond flour and you're putting in the blender, that's a lot of work to blend that down. It's actually better to have the granola and have it that way than actually having the flour. I'm gonna make some Wonder Bread tomorrow because people have asked me out of the mayonnaise. I do wanna use some dairy-free stuff because people keep asking me about dairy-free, so it's meeting people in the middle from the Wonder Bread to the keto bread. So I'm gonna make some of that. But yes, absolutely limit those. That will absolutely help with the weight. Great question, Vicki. Thanks for asking that. So Marie says, yes, good to get to sleep. I need to stay asleep, not getting up to use the bathroom. So this is a trick. So the bladder is called a transitional epithelium tissue, which means it expands and contracts. So you can train your bladder, which means if you're having a bladder that's actually waking you up to go to bed in the middle of the night and it's not medication induced, so that's key. Some people take medication at night to help them sleep that calms and relaxes their body, that can relax their bladder, which can make them more likely to go to the bathroom at night. Stop your water a couple hours before bedtime. Get your water in. If you're going to bed at 10, get all your water and liquids in by 8 o'clock. That way you're going to make sure your bladder's drained, get your exercise in, walk, get all that stuff done. And so your bladder's not going to wake you up in the middle of the night. And if you're getting up 4 times a night, then try to ignore your bladder the first time. Roll over and ignore it. So you're actually teaching your bladder not to wake you up and teaching your kidneys not to wake you up, just like you did when they were babies. Practice the Kegling exercise in the middle afternoon. So when you wake up in the morning, get your good 60 to 20 ounces of water in the middle of the morning. Water in by noon, water in by 2, water in by 4, water in by 6, and then stop. Don't sip on water all night long. If you're thirsty, suck on ice cubes, maybe a little bit of lemon, a little bit of sea salt on top of those ice cubes to help you actually not get so hydrated. Again, if it's medication, you might talk with your pharmacist about how you can switch that, but you definitely don't want to get up 3 or 4 times a night. It's going to disrupt your cortisol level. It's going to disrupt your thyroid and your adrenal glands. You have to train your body and your bladder to rest at night, the lymphatic flow to rest at night, and when you can get up and move in the evening after dinner, it'll get your lymphatic system moving, so you're actually going to use a restroom, urinate more at night before you go to bed, and that's cutting off the water. You just got to train it. You can train your bladder and then go to bed at night. So try that, please. I know it will help. I've helped hundreds of men and women over the years, but just, again, empty the bladder during the day, drink tons of water during the day, and you can train that bladder. If you're getting up 4 times a night, try to ignore one of those. You know that's not a full void evacuation. Don't suck on water all night long. Go with ice cubes after 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. If you're going to bed at 10, do that 4-hour time frame. Don't drink a whole gallon of water at dinner. Get the water in during the day, and I promise you your bladder will get trained within 60 days. And keep me updated on how that goes. Marie, just say, hey, this is me. Remember you talked to me about the bladder thing back in January, and let me know how it's going. Marie says, oh, the keto nap twice a day. I need to go to the toilet 3 to 4 times a night, please. So Marie, you need to move the keto nap up. So if you're doing the keto nap in the morning, like between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, that should help you getting going to the restrooms. That should make you thirsty. And then have the second serving earlier in the day, because it does have a high amount of sodium in it. Again, I like to have mine at that adrenal time for me, which is 1 to 3. I know I'm having it now, but I don't get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. So have it earlier in the day, a little bit less concentrated. As long as you're getting your watering there during the day, you can have that second serving a little less concentrated. So you don't have to go all in on 20 ounces. You could maybe do it in 8 ounces, or maybe do a half a serving, do it and make it jello, make it less concentrated, but just have it earlier, and see if that doesn't help a little bit. And Debbie's getting blood work done. Justin, good day. Good to see you here. I know we've probably messed up your time. Marie says, I don't. It's frustrating. So I have to go back and reread that. So you have, so Marie has the first one at 5 a.m. and the second one at 1 a.m. If you're having the second ketone at 1 a.m., that's going to last in your body anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 hours. That's going to be gone by 7 at the very latest p.m. It's not going to keep you up at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. The ketones are not going to keep your system and your bladder up that long. It's just not going to last because it's water soluble. That's not going to make you retaining water and get up going to the bathroom that long. The B vitamins won't last that long. So I know you're saying 1 p.m. I got it. So having that last one at 1 p.m. is not going to make you get up in the middle of the night. I'm saying just because I know how long the half-life is on the ketones, which again is only going to be, as long as you're mixing that ketone with 16 ounces of water, 12 ounces of water, that's going to be out of your system by 6 or 7 o'clock at night, p.m., 6 or 7 o'clock at night, p.m. That will not force you to get up in the middle of the night. So again, try to help train your bladder, shut off liquids at night, Kegel, train your bladder. A lot of times I'd ask you if we were on one-on-one personal, are you fully evacuating? Are you really going like a ton? How much water are you drinking during the day? I'd ask those questions. Get the water in during the day. Start tapering off at night. Get some exercise in. The lymphatic system during the day will actually increase your urination. Get the fluid out of your legs at night. If you do have some swelling in your legs, or if you're on a diuretic, maybe switching the time that you're taking the diuretic could also help. Blood pressure pills, all those things could affect if you're actually getting up and going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So check with your healthcare provider first on that. Sometimes there's some supplements people take at night, like quercetin, bromelain, those type of things that are natural anti-inflammatories that can actually encourage you to go to the restroom several hours later, which could actually cause you to go to the restroom at night. Maybe some kidney support, supplementation. So just take a look at all of that together and see if that doesn't help. Okay, Marie, you'll give it a go there. All right, well, I know it's late. I'm sorry for popping on late. Tomorrow, I am going to try to do some baking. I have a bunch of patient Zooms tomorrow, but I did go to the store today in preparation. I did buy another mini waffle because I want to make some new waffles that are dairy-free to show you that it looks exactly the same, it tastes the same. They are not egg-free. So I'm not going to say that they're vegan, but they do have eggs in them, but they are going to be dairy-free because I did buy dairy-free cream cheese. I did buy dairy-free cheese to make them with it, and we're going to make a few different ones to have fun because I like to have a dozen or so made up in the refrigerator. Just again, put pulled pork on them, put a hamburger bun. I like them with tuna salad, chicken salad, a salmon patty, a mahi burger, something like that, just to have it there, again, when we're doing things like going hunting or traveling, going to see the kids, but it's just a great thing to grab. I did get my better meals today. I'll show you guys that, which I think have been super easy to do. Taste really, really good. Haven't found any allergies. I do get the dairy-free. Dr. Ralph has done the dairy, but it's a higher culture dairy. No reaction at all because they're not using the, I don't want to say the orange Kraft single cheese, but they're using a higher level of cheese. So, what market brand, please? I will show you all those tomorrow. Mikasa is one of them. There's a whole bunch of different brands, Debbie. So I'll be showing you those tomorrow. You can always catch it on replay if you can't catch it, but several different brands of dairy-free vegan cheeses that are plant-based cheeses, if you want to call them that, are dairy-free items. So I'll be showing those tomorrow, but you guys have an amazing evening. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. This is Dr. Heather again from Kansas City saying hello from the Midwest. You guys have an amazing evening, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.